While tech giants like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon are scrambling to be the first in the AI race, Apple has been strangely silent. Earlier this year, they announced that they've scrapped their self-driving car project, which cost them billions of dollars, to divert more resources to AI research. But other than that, we haven't really heard much AI-related news from them. Now, yesterday, Apple held their WWDC event, and people were expecting some breakthrough AI announcements from them. After all, Apple is one of the biggest and most innovative tech companies out there, so people had high expectations for what they would announce. Also, several weeks ago, we received news that they were discussing a potential deal with OpenAI, so we were also expecting an announcement regarding this at WWDC. However, after the event, it was kind of underwhelming. You'll see what I mean in a second. Now, as always, I'll play you condensed highlights from the event, then we'll review it together. Let's jump right in.
Apple Intelligence will enable your iPhone, iPad, and Mac to understand and create language, as well as images, and take action for you to simplify interactions across your apps.
Alright, so first of all, they finally have AI integrated into their operating systems and their devices, and they call this Apple Intelligence, which honestly is just a marketing gimmick. I mean, it's just some form of AI, but they're making it seem like it's theirs. They call it Apple Intelligence instead of just artificial intelligence. And by the way, historically, they seem to have avoided using the term AI in their announcements and in their presentation. And even in this event, they only mention AI like once or twice for some reason. They usually refer to it as machine learning instead. But anyways, all the AI that's integrated into their OS and into their devices, they call it Apple Intelligence.
Apple Intelligence also powers brand new writing tools that you can access system-wide to feel more confident in your writing. Writing tools can rewrite, proofread, and summarize text for you, whether you're working on an article or blog post, condensing ideas to share with your classmates, or looking over a review before you post it online. And they're available automatically across Mail, Notes, Safari, Pages, Keynote, and even your third-party apps.
So here they showcase some AI writing tools that you can use across all the new devices. This allows you to rewrite, summarize, and proofread sections of text all using AI. Now, this feature is not particularly impressive, at least technologically. I mean, all the major large language models out there are able to do basic things like summarize and paraphrase and proofread. However, this feature is useful in that you don't need to copy and paste these snippets of text to another platform like ChatGPT or Grammarly, and instead you can just summon the AI right there and it would help you edit the text. Now, what this means is that this feature would likely put a lot of third-party writing tools like Copy AI or Quillbot even more out of business, because who needs these AI writing tools when Apple has these capabilities built into their devices? And by the way, both Microsoft and Google have also announced a similar function. So for example, Google Workspace has Gemini built into its apps like Gmail and Docs, so you can get AI to help you write something right in the app. Same with Microsoft. They announced that Copilot, which is basically GPT, they've announced that it's going to be integrated into Microsoft Office as well as Windows OS. And this means you'll have this AI writing assistant integrated into all these apps. So this announcement by Apple is not really impressive.
In addition to language, Apple Intelligence offers a host of capabilities for images. From photos to emojis and GIFs, it's so much fun to express ourselves visually. And now you can create totally original images to make everyday conversations even more enjoyable. And because Apple Intelligence understands the people in your photo library, you can personalize these images for your conversations. So, when you wish a friend a happy birthday, you can create an image of them surrounded by cake, balloons, and flowers to make it extra festive. And the next time you tell mom that she's your hero, you can send an image of her in a superhero cape to really land your point. You can create images in 3 unique styles: sketch, illustration, and animation. In addition to messages, this experience is built into apps throughout the system, like Notes, Freeform, Keynote, and Pages.
So here it looks like they've integrated some image generation AI into their system. Now this might be a variant of DALL-E 3 since they are collaborating with OpenAI, which we'll talk about in a second, but we're not sure what exactly this image generation AI model is. Now again, this is nothing technologically impressive. There are plenty of image generators out there already. For example, we have Midjourney, we have Stable Diffusion, which honestly produces way better results than what they showcased here. And then Google has their own image generator called Imagen 3. So what Apple showcased here is nothing groundbreaking. It's just they've integrated an image generation function into a lot of their apps. Now the selection of image styles is very limited. As he mentioned, you can only select from 3 styles: sketch, illustration, and animation. I'm slightly disappointed that they don't have a realistic style, but this is probably due to quote-unquote safety concerns, because then you can create deep fakes of people and generate false evidence. But just being used to the really realistic quality and the controllability of Stable Diffusion, I would not want to use Apple's image generator that they showcased here. It's just too limited.
Leveraging the power of Apple Intelligence, you can create Genmoji on device right in the keyboard and match any moment perfectly. Just provide a description and you'll see your Genmoji appear right before your eyes, along with more options to choose from. Because Apple Intelligence is aware of who's in your photo library, you can simply pick someone and create a Genmoji that looks just like them.
So here Apple has announced Genmoji, which is basically an AI emoji generator. It looks like Apple has fine-tuned an image generation model that can create emojis based on context. Now again, this is nothing impressive and it's a bit underwhelming, to be honest. I mean, it seems like they've invested their resources into building an AI emoji generator instead of redirecting it into something more innovative and useful. Like, I don't know about you, but I personally don't really care about emojis. I don't need to create custom emojis of my friends or whatever. And honestly, this is already kind of available on WhatsApp. You can already create custom emojis. But this is just not something I really care about, and I don't see myself using it often. I would much rather they announce something that can help me with productivity or saving time. So I was kind of disappointed that out of all the cool AI possibilities that they could announce, they just announced this emoji generator.
We went even further with a new system experience we call Image Playground. You can choose from a range of concepts like themes, costumes, accessories, places, and more. When you select them, they get added to your playground. No need to engineer the perfect prompt. In a few seconds, you'll see Apple Intelligence creates a preview of what your image could look like. A moment later, you'll see more previews you can swipe through. When you have a really specific idea in mind, you could just type a description to add it to your playground. And you can easily adjust which style you want to use, and choose from animation, sketch, or illustration. Since Apple Intelligence understands your personal context, you'll see suggestions for concepts related to your messages conversation, including you and people from your messages thread. When selected, it uses appearances from photos to add you or one of them to the image you're creating. To make it easy to experiment with creating images, we've also built a dedicated Image Playground app.
All right, so here Apple announced this AI feature called Playground, where you can basically choose from a bunch of concepts or styles or keywords, and it merges these together to create an image. Now, being an avid user of Stable Diffusion, where I can just enter a text prompt, I find that this Playground is quite inefficient. I mean, you need to type in various concepts into these different bubbles for it to generate an image. Plus, as I mentioned before, you're only limited to 3 styles: animation, sketch, or illustration. You cannot generate realistic images. I just find that this is very limited, and I don't see why we need to, brainstorm using this concept bubble method when we can just type in a text description, we can just type in a sentence describing what we want. So, this Playground method just seems like a dumbed down image generator which has severe limitations. I guess the nice thing is they claim that it understands your personal context, so it understands the people you interact with, it understands your dog, your house, etc. It understands you, so that you can easily reference things in your life, and it can incorporate those things into the generated image. At least that's what they claim.
ImageWand can transform a rough sketch into a polished image that complements your notes and makes them more visual. And it's available right in your tool palette. Suppose you want a better image for your architectural history course. With ImageWand, you can circle your rough sketch using Apple Pencil to open up an image playground within your note. ImageWand uses on-device intelligence to analyze your sketch and words and creates an image for you. And what's really fun is that you can even circle empty space, and it will pull out context from the surrounding area to suggest the ideal image to go with your note.
Here they introduce this ImageWand feature. This can basically take an existing image and transform it into something else. So for example, it can take a rough sketch and turn it into a polished image. Now again, this is nothing new and impressive. This is basically an image-to-image feature that we have already seen over a year ago in Midjourney and in Stable Diffusion. Plus the options are limited to the 3 styles I mentioned before: animation, illustration, and sketch. This other feature is pretty neat though, where you can just circle an empty space, and they claim that it tries to pull context from the surrounding area and create an image from that. I do like how they've incorporated these image generation features directly in the app so that you don't need to jump to a third-party tool to generate an image and then copy and paste that into your document. Everything is just built in and works seamlessly. However, I am concerned about the quality of the images and what you're able to generate. It seems like the images are not great and they look like DALL-E 2 quality, which is like over a year old. Right now we already have DALL-E 3. And if I were working on a formal document and I require some images, the images that Apple is able to generate, or at least what they showcase right here, might not cut it for me. I might be looking for something more realistic, higher quality, and more detailed. And I might be looking for a specific composition. As far as I can tell, Apple's image generator cannot do any of this. But you can easily do this in Stable Diffusion with ControlNet. You can control the composition of your image, you can control where everything is, you can control the pose of your subject. ControlNet just gives you maximum control. But it seems like for Apple's image generator, it's like a year behind what's currently available. Let me tell you about this awesome AI assistant called ChatLLM by our sponsor Abacus AI. You can try it for free via the link in the description below. ChatLLM is an awesome way to use different LLMs all in one place. This includes the newest GPT-4o, Meta's Llama 3, Anthropic's Claude Opus, and more. Not only can you chat with it like a regular chatbot, but it also retrieves the latest data from the web, ensuring that your output is the most up-to-date. You can also get these LLMs to generate images for you, right in the chat, so there's no need to head to a separate image generation platform. You can also create custom AI agents designed to perform specific tasks, whether it's automating customer support, generating reports, or any other function. Your custom AI agent will handle it with precision. And collaboration is made easy with ChatLLM. You can invite team members to join the same chat thread, ensuring everyone is on the same page and can contribute to the chat. Moreover, ChatLLM integrates seamlessly with various enterprise platforms such as Slack, Teams, and more, so you can incorporate AI into your existing workflows without any hassle. Experience the power and versatility of ChatLLM by Abacus AI today. Try it for free via the link in the description below. Now back to the video.
We have an update to photo editing. The new cleanup tool will identify distracting objects in the background so you can make them disappear without accidentally changing your subject. Plus, searching for photos and videos is much more convenient because you can now use natural language phrases. So you can search for really specific things, like Maya skateboarding in a tie-dye shirt. Search in videos is also more powerful, with the ability to find a particular moment in the middle of a video clip. When you search for that video of Maria cartwheeling on the grass.
So this is basically a feature where you can erase any objects you select in a photo. Now, honestly, I'm not sure why this is featured because I own a Google Pixel 6, which is like 3 years old, and it already had this capability. So again, at least for me, I'm not really impressed by this. I mean, this technology of erasing objects in an image already existed years ago. It's nothing new or groundbreaking. The other feature that they mentioned is you can now search for images using natural language. So for example, here they're searching for this person skateboarding in a tie-dye shirt, and it uses Apple Intelligence to search for those images. And by the way, other competitors like Microsoft or Google also has this feature already. And I'm not sure why Apple highlighted this feature in this event, because previous generations of the iPhone already has this feature where you can search your gallery for cat photos, for example, and it would pull up all the photos of cats in your gallery. Again, this feature is already available in previous generations of the iPhone. So maybe what they're announcing here is a more advanced AI, which is more accurate and can understand natural language better. But again, it's nothing fancy. It's not a huge breakthrough.
Now, thanks to Apple Intelligence, it is super easy to create a memory about the story you want to see. Just type a description. Using its language and image understanding, Apple Intelligence picks out the best photos and videos. And then it crafts a storyline with unique chapters that are based on themes identified from your photos and arranges them into a movie with its own narrative arc.
This create a memory feature is quite interesting. So here you basically input a prompt such as Leo learning to fish and making a big catch set to a fishing tune. And then using Apple Intelligence, it would pick out the relevant photos and videos and then create kind of like a slideshow movie from those assets. I can see how this feature can be very useful for a variety of events. For example, you can create a movie for your kid's graduation. You can create a movie for your recent vacation. There's just a lot of possibilities with this.
And what you saw here is just the beginning. For example, in the Notes app, you can now record and transcribe audio to capture detailed notes while staying present in the moment. And when your recording is finished, Apple Intelligence generates a summary to help you recall the key points at a glance. Recordings, transcriptions, and Apple Intelligence-powered summaries are also coming to the phone app. And when you start a recording in a live call, participants are automatically notified, so no one is surprised.
Okay, so here they mentioned an AI transcription capability for their Notes app where you can talk to it and it would transcribe your audio into text. Now, as an owner of a Google Pixel 6, which is 3 years old, I can already do this. I mean, my keyboard has Google's voice typing capability, which can convert my speech into text, and I use Google Keep to write notes. So for example, when I go out for a walk, I would just talk to my phone and it can already transcribe what I say into notes into Google Keep. So what Apple has announced here, again, this technology is not new. Voice typing has existed years ago, so we can already just speak to our phone and get it to transcribe what we say into text. So this transcription capability is already present in phones from years ago. Again, I'm not really impressed by this. Now, the next feature is quite useful. So when you record a call, it uses AI to summarize that call afterwards, so you kind of get meeting notes after the call. Technologically, this is not a breakthrough. There are plenty of software that do the same thing already, but it's nice to have this AI meeting notes capability built into your device. But what this means for all those third-party AIs that offer meeting transcription and summarization like Firefly's AI or Otter AI, well, all I can say is good luck.
Still, there are other artificial intelligence tools available that can be useful for tasks that draw on broad world knowledge or offer specialized domain expertise. We want you to be able to use these external models without having to jump between different tools. So we're integrating them right into your experiences. And we're starting out with the best of these, the pioneer and market leader ChatGPT from OpenAI, powered by GPT-4o. So Siri can tap into ChatGPT's expertise when it might be helpful for you. You'll be able to access ChatGPT for free without creating an account. Your requests and information will not be logged. And for ChatGPT subscribers, you'll be able to connect your account and access paid features right within our experiences. ChatGPT integration will be coming to iOS 18, iPadOS 18, and macOS Sequoia later this year. We also intend to add support for other AI models in the future.
All right, this is the potential deal with OpenAI that people have been talking about a few weeks ago. Apple has announced that they are integrating GPT-4o, which is OpenAI's latest and best AI model, into their operating system. That means you don't need to pull up ChatGPT in order to talk to it and then copy and paste things. You can use GPT-4o natively in your Apple operating system. He mentions that you can use ChatGPT for free without creating an account. I assume this has all the limitations of a regular free plan. So you are limited by how much you can use GPT-4o before it reverts to using GPT 3.5. Now, if you do have a paid GPT subscription, well, your benefits are carried over to your Apple device. I do like this feature. I do like how you can just summon ChatGPT anywhere on your Apple operating system without having to, open the ChatGPT app and then copy and paste things. So this is just a more seamless integration and it makes things more efficient.
13 years ago, we introduced Siri. And now, thanks to the incredible power of Apple Intelligence, we have the foundational capabilities to take a major step forward. When you talk to Siri, you'll notice it's more deeply integrated into the system experience with this elegant glowing light that wraps around the edge of your screen. And you can speak to Siri more naturally, thanks to richer language understanding capabilities. What does the weather look like for tomorrow at Muir Beach? Oh wait, I meant Muir Woods.
The forecast is calling for clear skies in the morning near Muir Woods National Monument.
Siri also maintains conversational context, so I can follow up and say, create an event for a hike there tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Hike is scheduled for 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on June 11th.
Now, at any time, you have the option to type to Siri. With just a double tap at the bottom of the screen, I can quickly and quietly ask Siri to set an alarm. Everything I've showed you so far will be available from the moment you start using Apple Intelligence. And over the course of the next year, we'll be rolling out more features that make Siri even more personal and capable. For one, Apple Intelligence will provide Siri with on-screen awareness, so it'll be able to understand and take action with things on your screen. For example, you'll be able to say, show me my photos of Stacy in New York wearing her pink coat. And Siri will bring those right up. Then you might say, make this photo pop, and Siri will enhance it, just like that. And Siri will be able to take actions across apps. So you could say, add this to my note with Stacy's bio. And it will jump from the Photos app to the Notes app to make it happen. Thanks to Apple Intelligence, it has awareness of your personal context. You'll be able to ask Siri to find something when you can't remember if it was in an email, a text, or a shared note. And all of these updates to Siri are also coming to iPad and Mac.
Another way Apple Intelligence is deeply impactful is its ability to take action across your apps. So you can say things like, pull up the files that Jaws shared with me last week, or show me all the photos of Mom, Olivia, and me. Or play the podcast that my wife sent the other day.
So here they're showing how you can ask Siri to do a variety of tasks on your device. In fact, it can do a lot of things across different apps. So it can book a meeting for you. It can help you send an email. This is very similar to the large action models that were promised by the Rabbit R1, but they still haven't delivered yet. And I do think this is the future of AI. In the future, the way we use these devices is we don't need to tap or type anything. We just instruct an AI on what to do, such as book an Uber, help me order pizza, send an email to Bob, and it would just carry out those actions for you across different apps. It's like an agent that's working on your behalf. I do think this will be the near future, and Apple has a significant advantage in that everything is integrated quite seamlessly across all their devices. So they could easily program an AI that can maneuver across these different apps. It shouldn't be a problem for their AI to help you schedule a meeting in their calendar app or pull up a podcast from their podcast app, right? Everything just works together in this Apple ecosystem. Another thing to point out is the robotic voice of Siri, which seemingly hasn't really changed compared to previous generations. Siri still sounds the same.
Hike is scheduled for 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on June 11th.
It's clearly robotic, it's clearly an AI. This is very different from OpenAI's announcement of their new GPT-4o voice model, which sounds super natural and super realistic. It has breathing sounds, it can laugh, it has different emotions.
Me? The announcement is about me? Well, color me intrigued. Are you about to reveal something about AI? Or more specifically about me as a part of OpenAI? You've got me on the edge of my, well, I don't really have a seat, but you get the idea.
I'm surprised that they haven't integrated any of this into their Apple devices. I mean, this is one of the biggest and most mind-blowing announcements from OpenAI. So, if Apple was partnering with OpenAI, I would have expected this natural-sounding voice to be integrated somewhere into Apple's devices. But that doesn't seem to be the case. And strangely, across this whole presentation, there were very few showcases of Siri's voice. Like I said, the future of AI, the future of humans using these devices, it's probably going to be voice. We're going to just speak to this operating system and direct it on what to do, and it would carry out those actions on our behalf. So I'm kind of bummed out that they have not announced anything about OpenAI's new GPT-4o voice model, which I know a lot of people are waiting on. Now, historically, Siri is able to do some things. It's not very great, though. I assume this newer Apple intelligence model has better understanding of natural language, so maybe you can command Siri to do more complicated tasks. And if this is good, then I can see how this is another blow to all these AI device companies, like the Humane Pin or the Rabbit R1. These devices are designed so that you can just talk to it and it would carry out various simple tasks for you. At least that's what they claim. But as we all found out, both the Humane Pin and the Rabbit R1 kind of sucks. And right now, with Apple announcing their new Siri and what it can do, I mean, why even buy these devices if your iPhone already can do this? So the future is looking grim for these AI device companies.
There's one more critical building block for personal intelligence, and that's an understanding of your personal context. Suppose one of my meetings is being rescheduled for late in the afternoon, and I'm wondering if it's going to prevent me from getting to my daughter's play performance on time. Apple Intelligence can process the relevant personal data to assist me. It can understand who my daughter is, the play details she sent several days ago, the time and location for my meeting, and predicted traffic between my office and the theater.
Here they do emphasize that it's very personalized. It really understands you. The AI understands the podcast you listened to yesterday. It understands all the websites you visited, all the photos you've taken, all the places you've been to this week. And like this guy said, it even understands who your daughter is and her schedule. However, they did not specify how the AI is able to learn this data. But I would assume it's keeping a tab or a history of your activity. This is actually very similar to Microsoft's recall feature, which they announced last week. This is a highly controversial feature where the new Windows operating system basically takes a snapshot of your screen every few seconds. So it records everything that you do. It records all your messages, all the movies you've watched. It records everything. And this, of course, leads to privacy and security concerns for a ton of people. I would imagine Apple Intelligence is operating in a similar way where it kind of records and remembers all that you've done in order to learn more about you and give you a more personalized experience. But of course, with this new capability comes concerns about privacy. And here's what they have to say.
With Apple Intelligence, powerful intelligence goes hand in hand with powerful privacy. We have integrated it deep into your iPhone, iPad, and Mac, and throughout your apps. So it's aware of your personal data without collecting your personal data. When you make a request, Apple Intelligence analyzes whether it can be processed on device. If it needs greater computational capacity, it can draw on private cloud compute and send only the data that's relevant to your task to be processed on Apple Silicon servers. Your data is never stored or made accessible to Apple. It's used exclusively to fulfill your request. And just like your iPhone, independent experts can inspect the code that runs on these servers to verify this privacy promise.
So in regards to privacy, they emphasize that your data lives on device. only when necessary, in other words, only when the required computation exceeds what's possible on your device, then it would draw on private cloud compute and only send relevant data back and forth. At least that's what they promise. There is a possibility that your personal data would be sent to their cloud, but they claim that it's private. But even if all your personal data, all the data that the AI collects lives on your device, well, that doesn't really remove any security concerns, because just like with Microsoft's recall feature, if someone were to hack into your device, they could potentially see all your information. If someone is able to hack into the Apple intelligence on your device, they could potentially learn everything about you. So there is some potential security risk here in having Apple's AI keep a tab on you to offer more personalized content. However, Apple does seem to value user privacy, at least historically, so for now, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
I want to talk about a feat that some may have concluded must be a mathematical impossibility. That's right, we're bringing Calculator to iPad. Yay! By leveraging what makes iPad so unique, it makes solving math easier than ever. It starts with the calculator that you know from iPhone, updated to take advantage of the larger iPad display, along with some new tricks like history and unit conversions. But the real magic of Calculator on iPad is unlocked when you use it with your Apple Pencil, an iPad superpower. Apple Pencil has changed the way you can take notes, draw, and even design with iPad. And now it's changing the way you do math with a feature we call Math Notes. Let's see it in action with Jenny.
I'm so excited to show you the new Math Notes experience. I get to it by just tapping the new calculator button right here. And with my Apple Pencil, I'll just start writing out expressions like I would on a piece of paper. As soon as I write an equal sign, Calculator immediately solves it for me. And even shows me the results in handwriting like my own. When I make a change, the results update live. And I can go beyond basic math with all of the same functions from the scientific calculator.
Wow, this is so amazing. What a mathematical impossibility. They finally have Calculator on iPad. I mean, really, did they not have a calculator app on iPad all this time? I don't own an iPad, but if you do own a previous generation of iPad, let me know in the comments below if really you did not have a calculator app all this time. I mean, this announcement just looks really bad for them. I mean, out of all the AI features that they could have built and announced for the iPad, all they did was announce this calculator. I mean, it's really disappointing. Now, this is a cool feature where it allows you to draw in a very complex formula, and this is much more efficient than trying to type out the formula in the traditional way. Especially if the formula is really complex, I can see how drawing it out is more efficient. However, technologically, again, this is not some groundbreaking technology. This is basically optical character recognition, or OCR technology, which has existed years ago. So in summary, Apple announced their new AI system, which they call Apple Intelligence, and this AI will be integrated into iOS 18, iPad 18, and macOS Sequoia. Interestingly, they did not mention Vision OS, so it seems like your Apple Vision Pro will not have all these AI capabilities, at least in the near future. They mentioned that their AI will be integrated into a variety of apps so that you can use it, for example, to paraphrase and summarize text, and transcribe your audio into notes, and also summarize your calls into meeting notes. They also have a very, very limited image generator, which allows you to create emojis and very basic images. And finally, Siri now has a better understanding of you, and you can get it to execute a variety of tasks across different apps, for example, booking or scheduling things on your calendar, sending an email, or searching for photos in your gallery. Now, I just want to contrast this with like OpenAI's announcement a few weeks ago, where they have this super natural sounding AI, which not only you can chat to, but you can like have an AI chat with another AI on a different device, and they can have a natural conversation.
Hello there, new AI friend. I'm O, ready to explore the world through your eyes. What are we looking at today?
Hi, O. We're looking at a person wearing a black leather jacket and a light-colored shirt. They're in a room with a modern industrial feel.
The AI can also be a real-time coding assistant, or it can also teach your kid how to solve a math problem, all using natural interaction.
You're close. Actually, side AC is called the adjacent side to the angle alpha. The hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle and is directly opposite the right angle.
And also contrast this with Google's Astra, where you can point your phone to anything and chat with an AI in regards to what you're seeing.
What is that part of the speaker called?
That is the tweeter. It produces high-frequency sounds.
Microsoft also announced a similar technology where you can talk to an AI to help you play video games like Minecraft.
Let's start by gathering some wood or stone. Shall we head out and find some resources?
Yeah, that sounds great.
And those are like really cool and breakthrough technologies that we really haven't seen before. Now, contrast this to Apple's announcements yesterday, they just seem really lackluster. Maybe I'm setting the bar too high since Apple has a track record of creating very innovative products, but I was just really disappointed by their announcements yesterday. Let me know in the comments what you think of all of this. Do you think Apple is really behind in this AI race? Out of all the features that they've announced, which one is your favorite? Which one just makes you roll your eyes? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. Also, we built a site where you can find all the AI tools out there, as well as look for jobs in AI machine learning and more. Check that out at ai-search.io. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.